Why ancient Egyptian worship this plant, which is it's a real plant, it's not plastic, you can touch it, okay? So he will show you why, first thing, why ancient Egyptian worship this plant. Second, he's gonna show you in the steps how the ancient Egyptian got the idea to creating that ancient paper from that plant. Also, he's gonna explain some of the main photos, because for you, for anybody, seems just photo and that's it. Honestly, each one of those has like a symbol meaning, look like a story behind something. You will enjoy so much with that. So please start listening to Muhammad.
Good morning.
Morning.
No, it's not all. Good morning.
Good morning.
That's good. First of all, welcome to Egypt, Luxor and our gallery. In the next few minutes, I will show you how the ancient Egyptians managed to make the first paper in history 5,000 years ago out of this beautiful plant. Till nowadays, we have the same way, we have the same methods. No machines, no chemical substances. Everything is done by hand, from this plant to all the sheets of papyrus around. Okay? This plant with a sacred flower. So in a lot of scenes, you'll find the kings and the queens, like in this scene, the wedding card of King Tutankhamun, they are holding the same flower in their hands. You hear me? My voice is good? Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was, the flower looked like sun rays. The symbols that got Amurah, the name of the sun. Even in the temples, you have seen the pillars end like this. The open papyrus flower, and at sunset, the closed papyrus flower. The second reason, it was the shape of the stem. The stem looks like pyramids, which are the symbol of eternity and everlasting life. We cut the stem as we need for the big sizes or the smaller ones, because this plant reaches 10 or 12 feet high. We can't bring it here, we bring the baby ones for the presentation. Now the making. It's not a devil, it's not sweet like the sugar cane. It has amount of sugar, but about 15%, but not so sweet. Okay? The ancient Egyptians, they used the outer green part in making baskets, slippers, and many other things out of the green part. It's very strong and very flexible. You can try it yourself. But if you break it, you pay for it. Here we have the inner white part. This part contains a lot of water and fibers. So if you try to do anything out of it, you'll find it very easy to be broken, very easy to be damaged. So what will we do? We cut it in thin slices. We have two Egyptian machines to use. The first one, it's a wooden hammer. Now we are damaging the fibers inside the slices. Then comes the first machine invented by the Egyptian women.
Roller pen.
You know, when the Egyptian husband, they came late at night. You know, they don't keep it in the kitchen here in Egypt. You can guess by the front door. Yes. That's the right place. We squeeze the slices. You can see the water coming out. Our slice now, strong, flexible, easy to be rolled. You can do anything out of it. It doesn't crack. It doesn't damage like the first. Then we have to leave it in the water for 6 days or 1 week to get the light color. To get the dark papyrus, we have to leave the slices in the water for 12 days or 2 weeks. Because more than 6 days in the water, the sugar will begin to oxidize and get the dark color. So that's the difference between the two colors of papyrus. The next step, we bring 2 pieces of carpet, cotton, linen, anything that absorbs water, and now we'll start to make our sheet of papyrus. We have to do it in a very systematical way, in horizontal and vertical lines. We don't weave it, just 2 layers, one horizontal and one vertical. Okay? Then we cover it we leave it in the hand press. The hand press, it's a modern machine. The ancient Egyptians, they used 2 blocks of stone or rocks to get the same pressure of the hand press. And we leave it in here for another 6 days for the light color, 12 days for the dark color. So the light color papyrus needs 12 days, the dark color needs 24 days. Yeah, no, 6 days in the hand press, or 6 days in the hand. We are waiting now, by the way. Or 12 days, it's up to you. And we order lunch, dinner, chairs, beds, and everything. So how many days?
6.
6 days. Time is up.
Oh, that's good.
After 6 days in the water, 6 days in the hand press, that's
Wow.
the final product. A very strong piece of paper, very flexible. You can do anything out of it. It doesn't crack, it doesn't die. That's the handmade papyrus. And the streets, in front of the temples, you'll find some people selling papyrus in plastic bags. The other one is made out of banana stem or sugar cane stem. How you can tell the difference between the genuine papyrus and the fake papyrus? The first thing that if you put it under any source of light, you see the weave, you see the lines you have just made here. And you'll see this brown dots. That's the sugar inside that make the slices stick together. As you have seen, we didn't add any glue, we didn't use any chemicals in here. Just the sugar inside that make the slices stick together. It needs more time to be pressed and it will come. Okay? The other one, the fake papyrus, you will not find the cross lines. You'll find it only one way, one horizontal way or one vertical way. The other one so easy to be broken, so easy to be damaged. That's why they keep it in plastic bag all the time. This paper accepts all kinds of colors. Even with a regular pen, you can join it. And the ancient Egyptians, they discovered this recycling 5,000 years ago. So if there is anything goes wrong, you can just start over again. That's the genuine papyrus.
If it gets wet, does it get weak?
No, it's still dry. You need to leave it to get it dry and you can start over again. After we finish making the sheets here, we send it to Academy of Fine Arts in Cairo. You'll find the signature of the artist on every scene. These are the most talented, the most famous artists in Egypt. They start to paint all the scenes around and they are all taken from the temples and tombs. There is a modern art, like the one with the pyramids, the one with the old Cairo streets, like this one over there, that's the modern art. But we still have the master seals, like the final judgment or the judgment day. This one represents how the ancient Egyptians believed in life after death, weighing the heart against the feather of justice. If the heart is lighter than the feather, he is a good man. He deserves to go to heaven, to be with Osiris and his family. If the heart is heavier than the feather, he is a guilty heart, full of bad deeds. So this beast, Ama, or Yam Yam, will jump and swallow the heart. Okay? We have the Egyptian calendar, the first calendar in the history. 4 bears of Horus that are representing directions. 4 bodies of Isis, the goddess of the sky, representing the seasons. If you count them, there are 12 months of the year. The hands are 24 hours of the day, and in the middle you can see all the star signs. We have the family tree, or the tree of life. These 5 birds representing the human being life, from babyhood, childhood, youth, marriage, and the age of wisdom. The first 4, they are looking to the east, to the sun. The 5th one has enough wisdom to take in the second life or the afterlife. The mask of King Tutankhamun. And here we have the cartouche design. In ancient times, only the kings and queens used to put the names inside cartouches. Here we have a professional artist who can translate your names from English into the hieroglyphics alphabet in just 1 minute.